one theme has dominated this presidential campaign in both parties. It is that Washington is out of touch. Our number one story tonight, Washington is so out of touch it's not funny, but Washington is laughing anyway. Saturday night was President Bush's final gridiron dinner with 600 of the nation's most powerful journalists and politicians, including 13 members of the Bush cabinet and his Joint Chiefs Chairman. This week's Joint Chiefs Chairman. In a song you will hear in a moment, Mr. Bush made light of his own failures that have damaged America, our reliance on Saudi oil, his own hard work to circumvent justice by keeping Scooter Libby out of prison, to sell the Iraq War, even his scapegoat for Katrina, a storm which crippled a major American city and killed hundreds of Americans. Washington's elite cheered him on, as you will see. The dinner is traditionally off the record, but it's not off our record. So here, courtesy YouTube and somebody's cell phone, the high or low lights.
I spend my days clearing brush. I clear my head of all the fuss. Like a fuss you made over Harriet and Brownie. Down the lane I look and here comes Scooter, finally free of the prosecutor. And then I wake and look around me at the old walls that surround me, and I realize I was only dreaming. For there's Condi and Dick, my old compadre, talking to me about some oil-rich Saudi. But soon I'll touch the brown, brown grass of home. Dick Cheney strolling with documents he's been withholding. The brown, brown grass of home.
This night, MSNBC political analyst Rachel Maddow, host of her own program weeknights on Air America Radio. Great, thanks for your time tonight, and welcome to softball.
Yeah.
Apart from finally discovering something he's comparatively good at, because he was keeping that tune pretty much all the way through, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The content matter, was it a little over the line given the nature of the stuff he's singing about?
My general rule about other people's political humor is that you earn yourself more leeway by being more funny. So on the grounds that this wasn't funny, it means that he has no leeway. And in terms of offensive subject matter, I mean, if you're going to joke about helping a guy evade sentencing for having obstructed an investigation into a U.S. intelligence officer having her cover blown, you have to be really funny. The funny bar is really high, and I think mission not accomplished here.
All right, that begs a question here. Maybe this is an aesthetic question more than a political content question, but it was so bad, how come it was getting laughs?
Well, it's, you know, it made me think of when I played this on my radio show today, I also played the clips of Bush joking about not finding weapons of mass destruction under those rugs in the Oval Office. I mean, you got tons of laughs for those things, too. I mean, Karl Rove doing his MC Rove gangster rap minstrel show thing, getting tons of laughs from the people in the room. These events are Washington insider homogenization reification events. They're the, we're all in this together, feel better and warm and fuzzy about the people you're supposed to be, who are supposed to be the subjects of your investigative reporting events. They're insidious by nature, I think.
Sort of like the Romans in the early part of the first century, reminiscing about the day Caligula appointed a horse consul, that sort of, well, remember that? That was pretty funny then, and then he killed all those guys. That wasn't that funny. But that first part, that was really very funny.
Right. We were all in that together, yeah. Huh?
All right, so the New York Times does not attend this thing anymore. Is that the proper position journalists should be staking out?
I don't know if there's always a proper position. I'd say yes. If I were invited to one of these things, which shockingly I haven't been, I would say no. Everybody gets to make their own decisions about these things, but you've got to figure out what the cost is. If the point of the event is to make you feel personally warm and personally connected to the people who are supposed to be the subjects of your reporting, you have to decide whether the chicken breast and the ego boost and the free drinks is worth you no longer knowing why it is that you have the job title journalist.
All right, let's spin this back into the campaign with Obama's victory in Mississippi tonight. Of the three candidates out there still standing, who is the most and least likely to participate in this sort of inciting, joking about issues that, you know, have destroyed American lives?
I hope that none of them would be.
That was very nice.
I hope that none of them would be, and
Good
maybe
luck.
we should just leave it at that.